NPP for that is how they operate. Aside to obey NPP, they don't respect you and they don't regard you. And they want to make the country ungovernable. So we again in here, we need to take good notice of these kind of people or all these kind of things in our society. Because you see a chichire mind, you have so many things at the chichire mind. That is the same reason why parliament for no, this throw the good president and also because he does not even respect the president. How on earth will somebody go on the floor of parliament and as a TV and say, president at the private jet at Tukai? Your point teacher and said the president flew on commercial aircraft or not as a member of parliament and say private jet in a 2 video Ghana and young children in the power team. I was like, this is common sense. Why do we call this private jet? If somebody is flying his or her private jet, or see private jet to be a bagani, young children in the power team. Sakwanu kujina parliament. Yeah, we are there. And Nimgwasia speaker Edigun our parliament. Totally disgraced. We a lawyer Nimuya. Akwatena parliament idemu. Okasati say sabi obi opie hwibaro. Pacho yentieno. And Nimgwasia totally disgraced himself on the floor of parliament. But speaker chair and the level say madam sit down and shut up. We demand their way and answer there. Do you think say we are here to joke? Pacho, let's watch him.
Yes, honourable member, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Minister, I would want to confirm from you, and maybe for purposes of education, you indicated to us that the national security secured a search warrant. May you educate me the scope of the search warrant, if it is inclusive of searching phrases of persons, if it is inclusive of.
Wow. What the team question baby so lawyer ni NPP for nkwa na baby am call law school so omo wie wo mo dem so omo wie ohim. I have no idea. Akwa we Nigeria no, he is doubting the president. Say president obi who say president fly commercial aircraft no. Ono person say president Jimmy to the sense say he the president will fly a commercial aircraft but rather na Obama na nkwala mu na for private jet. Sa akwa we o. What the team no
of searching phrases of persons, if a search warrant. May you educate me the scope of the search warrant, if it is inclusive of searching phrases of persons, if it is inclusive of searching phrases of persons. I want to understand the scope of such a search. Thank you.
Your question is whether or not the search warrant includes searching what? But if you are a lawyer, you've seen a search warrant before. Does the search warrant specify that you search the pocket or what?
Mr. Speaker, I think this is unfair. Mr. Speaker, it's a direct question that is addressed to the minister. I want to understand the scope, the particular search warrant that he got. Is it inclusive of the searching phrases of persons? That is the question I'm asking. So you should just let me know that maybe if you just
that is why you see, Honorable Assafoah, if this question were to be coming from a non-lawyer, but you have seen a copy of a search warrant before. If a warrant is issued to search your house, the warrant will not specify whether they should search pocket of all your searches, your pocket, your fridge, your kitchen, or is that the content of the warrant? Please, if you have another question, ask.
Speaker say Madam Fo. Who are some for can yes at that tenase? Who a lawyer nimuya? Who search warrant paying? Who be Gina Parliament? Say search warrant and the specifies you search you free Jim. Abra also a lawyer. Members of Parliament of NPP. They don't even respect themselves, let alone respecting authorities in the country. Akwawe in the Beijing was a president the commercial aircrafts at Tukine, Wamani entourage at the private jet. Initially, he says the president the private jet in Tukine. When it was proven to him that there be president flew commercial aircraft, no, so Wamani entourage and they call meaning the president is so stupid. Say, or no president, no, but fly commercial aircraft, but Beman and Kuala Mumade private jet. Ako. You push in, I was saying, na private jet in Ghana, Yan Chile Nipakura Mutim. Common sense, this stupid person. Within a terms of where you be at them. Private jet, will be the private jet, a basic Ghana, Wosi and Chile Nipa, or the private jet, the member of parliament, what do you know? He doesn't even know it's a private jet, and any person here can fly a private jet. But this person can only become a member of parliament through NPP onto parliament, and then from nowhere but Ashanti region. Now, common sense, Sharon say, and respect for Ghana and Ghanaians and anyhow. They don't even respect authorities. Because if somebody respects president, on to me, Genesis Pearson can't say president, Afro commercial aircraft, but our man and Kuala Mumin Afro private jet. And this year, common sense. Because he doesn't even respect the president. Kenneth, Charlie, we have a code there. That's it, Kenneth David. So NPP, for that is a modus operandi. They don't even respect NDC. Look at how President John Dramani Mahama is developing the country. And some president ko gina Japan and Waka. We are going near tea. We never be too agreement. But your young chirimu. Every a buy penny you say president at the presidential jet and a koye. And now say offer private jet chiri woman yanti say fellows of Fusukachi Eden Chiremu ebe mama ni wina. But you ain't ni improving chile sa member of parliament we say or a lawyer ni be nim da or call law school babru we law school because an agreeing ever form.
Nti edikan walk us through. I mean we knew say Munufie has Sunday and Yumre, but we realized say Enra Anopa, which is Tuesday morning mum and Amuko drew Japan. Why? What happened? On Mampenny, Ejna baby, baby for baby, Anna.
Yobi, I see the Emse and Comodi Abba, a woman to Naco into Mono. Let's try Ben now. What can you now, Buma? As a certain desperate attempt by MPP Amani Kuno. Say, a memo bonia on the booya. Na the move and do no a physical savvy on a year when say wasteful expenditure. The movie a cassette here, Ghana for cassette here, and I drink to a bit here woman. And a more person more pair quando so far. Eddie yes, dear, no, or more year and ye and now some prono. If I say, your cassette here, as I need tea. Aquafa, and which should be Eddie Abram and Penny on a quaint woman. Assafoah Assafoah Vincent Assafoah MP for Tafo. Edibatu ga na enya no kre enra menya ne ntia se wa wo confront no to set the record straight. Eno no anya adwuma no na abeton from memu MPP fo bi any even some media persons ne nam no mo ka so young NDC for Yanfa a chop Pamra because of the criticism we leveled against Assafoah. Now, said the young quarter jet, and I see any beautiful for Emma or Mampenia Quintu. That is the summary of Incomodia Ecoso. No clear woman say Sancomodio, and then no clear a boy bra. The first point, they say a year aircraft, and I say, I'm penning area Michelle Comodi, and yet honorable a black and the shares and Comodina so Ghana Bacosim. What we use a Winnie At least you are in your early 40s.
Yes.
As far back as the late 90s, President Rollins are buying a quarter of Gulf Stream through a special purpose vehicle arrangement. Far by HSBC Bank. A year, you know. A year, you say, Mampeni, Etumokwan, and some, Abaya and some Ghana. At the time, now, on a young folk has Manus Wajiman, on any ranking member of foreign affairs. Almost sorry here, run is abandoned the day say or part of Gulf Stream. Say the man penny be too kind. In fact, I don't see Abra MP before by 2001. I'm for all the 8 years of baby man was one now Gulf Stream more that. Because first, almost a and number two, they were even claiming that because of the special purpose vehicle arrangement through Government, but I thought assigned to a committee chaired by the late J.H. Mensah, and that's our time foreign minister, Ononya for StuP1D, and a then presidential spokesman, Cabinet Japon. Aya Bendes said almost share Gulf Stream, mentoring and some. Interestingly, so many people because now Bonnie be uncle so. And towards the tail end of the Kofa administration, almost on South Stream, adequate simulated for China. And more than China, between 2010 and 2011, our President Mills are buying a year say, or per se or top, if you send him Ghana, Assafoah, I call my Embraer, lay 100-seater jets for Ghana Armed Forces, Air Force. And other aircraft to be. Okay, they are empty before you. In fact, I mean to know almost the actual some aircraft the two President Mama so say President Mills investigating. So okay.
Yes.
For corruption. And I'm They opposed it vigorously in Parliament.
Yeah, because I think I don't know when Honorable Martin Amidun raised it the first time. No, Martin Amidun, one of his epistles.
Martin Amidun never spoke about any investigation of Mahama. But before the draw for several years on that matter. I'm tracing this to let you know. Say, Omanpenia went through an area to the day, it didn't start with Honorable Black Person MP before person much. This is the history of the MPP as far as presidential aircraft. And in fact, the general purchase of aircraft for Ghana is concerned. So I know that Kenya, somewhere between 2021 to 2023. And the two that say, Omanpeni Akufo-Addo or renting aircraft via the border was through. So I'm not sure movie my indeed. In Tia Science started somewhere in 2018. Now or renting aircraft. The mere rental of aircraft can be some. Of course, if you can show say presidential jet, and what touch him. Now we get alternative arrangement and say no problem. There are two options. Either so called commercial and also over rented aircraft. Now in the rental, you go for an optional, but it's a functional, safe, but nobody needs to affect the public purse, especially at the time there was severe economic crisis. A Binance to the catch there Ghana for no more bond Bosnia bondholders 1.3 million so only to change your mocha. You cannot, as a president, in the face of this, go for extravagant aircraft. That was the point. Now, Honorable Black all the time. Indeed, at the time, they hadn't even told us that there was a problem with the presidential aircraft until said Honorable need to about Parliament. They can't. And that can't pass over some company. So Ghana for righteously condemned the Akufo-Addo administration for extravagance. Omanpeni Mahama 2013 to 2017, there were periods now there were problems with the presidential jets. One rented that kind of expensive aircraft. Indeed, Maka or program is so that let's repeat it. So there was a time when Omanpeni Mahama to point out now economy from Lufthansa, Germany to Accra. None was flight movie, so I know.
Meaning, sir, yes. Acquiring a new presidential jet, is not off the table completely.
Oh, it can never be off the table. Now, at the beginning of this conversation, we can see the history of presidential jet.
Absolutely.
Fact, it even goes back to the some point in time. Our cut off for 27, for 28, and then he was flying coffee. So, okay. In the mid-90s, it became a huge issue. Indeed, on one or two occasions, there were some scares for the president. I think President Rollins at the time when he sat in the FOCA, 28 and 27. I recall, say, even as recently as 2011, 2012, the FOCA 28 was still flying. Maximum Diakoko when I was in government. So it can never be off the table, except that when you get to the point of making that decision now, you consider all factors in terms of cost-benefit analysis. That is not what the Akufo-Addo government did. They didn't choose the cost-effective approach. They chose extravagance. Indeed, Abra honorable could have 2 years I exposition. So the pictures now at the bar, a year authentic. I want to come once somebody there. We also said no, this is a bit too lavish. The cost is too much. If I make actually analogy, say, there are cars that sell for $400,000, and they will be so 100,000. It is 80,000. It will have brand and which is so. Now we doing job, but it's now for top $400,000 car. People will definitely criticize you.
But on the evidence of what has happened almost 8 months into this new government, about the Falcon, say a call for repairs near who corrosion been ade. Wouldn't it ground the fact, say, comments made about the Falcon being in pristine condition, fit for purpose, were not factually true at the time they were made? At the time,
it was fit for purpose. Oh, the massacre action, let me repeat it again. And me, in the first 2-3 months, Martina presidential aircraft 3 times to 3 different countries. Nothing to be. Otherwise, the Air Force will never permit the president to sit in it.
Okay, in the meaning, says,
but it doesn't mean that subsequently, if you detect, say, Chimatobia Abawa, don't address it. In fact, we feed the Awuchi, meaning Tenaya for an affair and autonomy. But me assure that between the time autonomy and the CIA, did you autonomy and it would have given you problems before.
Yes.
You will fix that could also be a battery and now starter. Once in a while, the engine may give you a fault, but you will fix it. A time will come because okay, baby, be a bread. If I do a cost benefit analysis, I'm a top of a double into my main tone way, I'm also on top of it. You can do that. But at the point where you needed it, it took you where you wanted to go and back. You have to consider your finances, the state of the economy, whether you're able to afford.
All right, Enti Felix Ofosu-Kwakye edin chiremu bebre aba. A lot of things in a Felix Ofosu-Kwakye kai. But I want us to go back into history. Now, some Felix Ofosu-Kwakye kai no menchire ebi. One, or say the argument is say Okudjeta Blakwa and started presidential jet debate or Ghana no enye no kre. It started in the 90s ampa. They don't call publications in the 90s or all African publications. But you look at the date here, 1999. Ghana presidential jet leased or purchased. I did a lot of research. That is why I'm presenting this kind of data to you. Abraham Rawlings, under the leadership of Rawlings, yes, Okoto presidential jet, there was this argument as to say, Okolisi and Okotoe. And then NP before the year campaign massively, 1999. Wow, you can also grow and cross-check data where I made that one because every day, when on this particular show, I present data, Detroit. And the data never, you make your own informed decisions. Masai de Wakobiem, Rawlings jet in trouble. Modern Ghana publication. All these are there, 1999. Opa, mamenka kakra ni nyina yenhwe ade. Let me make it a bit bigger. Send a beya wa ohwe me no wonka say ebia me na me di tro. Because in seven papa kan and bi na me pese nyina e cross check. In the front page banner headline story, the guide says the Minister of Finance, Kwame Pepera, is exposing further the shady circumstances surrounding the purchase of a presidential jet for President J.J. Rawlings. The paper says 2 months after the minister told Ghanaians that the jet was leased from Wings Aviation Incorporation of the United States, he has turned around 360 degrees to say the Gulfstream 3 aircraft with the state-of-the-art technology was leased from a company called Garland Limited, an affiliated of HSBC. But this is except of the news now. The guy purported to say Kwame Pepera, then finance minister, and a Kai. NP before decided to twist issue and they were twisting it. This is 1999 publication. Let me continue again. Omoma said arguments were concerning presidential jet and it was through 2022. Ghana, whose jet? Pepera, Rawlings, or Ghana? NP before then told Ghanaians to say presidential jet in the Rawlings akotono. Rawlings nankasa na akotafa. Some they were even saying Kwame Pepera, the finance minister then, and akoto jet or the Ghana tika and akoto jet in afa. But this is data. Data Juma and I'm a media Juma. I don't present false anything here. who see NPP near, ask them this kind of questions. Say, were you not the same people who started these arguments in the 90s and early 2000s? Why are you here saying, say, hey, you could get a black and a status way? NPP for
Jimmy for party job. What's
the MPP again?
a Jimmy for party?
A Jimmy for party in the Anonia Dodo.
Oh, me, President Kufuor when you crash and Becala.
Now, Jimmy for party now, Bulgaria, also MPP Nino.
Oh, and I saw me resume Jimmy.
so what I say? It's NPP for almost started his argument to any concern as a president of aircraft, and they are the same people saying here say they have no idea about it, but rather than a NDC4 and a cost started because Ukujeta Black started the same thing or more, with documentation proof on how they plague the politics in Ghana. But this document, and that's so you can also go and cross check 2002 documents, and I'm gonna go back into history to bring it and present it to you for you to know the kind of people we are playing with in Ghana. NPP party no do omachia the BL be problem. Na muni masema yesere. President